Beerus and Champa have finished the battle. Beerus and Champa are now the new gods of destruction. Hello everyone, this is Mr. 60 Anime. Today, we'll be discussing Part 8 of the Dragon Ball Hakai Special Chapter. But before we begin, if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button so you'll always be updated with content like this. Thanks everyone. In the last part of the story, we saw how Beerus successfully executed his plan to eliminate the god of destruction and god of creation of Universe 7, Gaza and Terran. Because of this, Beerus is now free to begin his mission of completely destroying Universe 7. And this is where Part 8 of the Dragon Ball Hakai Special Chapter begins. It opens with the narrator explaining that after the successful elimination of Gaza and Terran, Demon King Beerus has now started his plan to conquer Universe 7. Without mercy, the demons begin wiping out mortals on the planet Nikose. Beerus then speaks and says, "So it's you?" And here, Goku appears, the true mastermind behind everything. Goku responds, "Looks like our plans worked, huh?" Beerus replies, "Yes, thanks to that witch, we were able to summon that incredibly powerful creature into this world. And she successfully provoked that kid." He goes on to explain how Terran's group approached him, bringing along Terran's own follower. That's when Beerus saw the opportunity to manipulate the boy by placing evil energy in his heart, which caused him to return to Beerus' world. This manipulation gave Beerus the strength he needed to break the barrier that separated his realm from the mortal world. And of course, with Gaza's death, Terran also disappeared, since their lives were connected. Beerus declares it was a perfect plan. Goku speaks again, reminding Beerus not to forget to thank them. He says, "I'm the one who came up with the idea to use that creature in our plan, and Nua was the one who found the witch to help us fully carry it out." Goku then adds that while the deaths of Gaza and Terran are satisfying rewards, what he really wants is to gain an advantage in every universe for when the time comes. Beerus agrees, saying, "Of course, you can count on me. We'll be allies in this universe. Just let me know if you ever need help." Then, an old woman speaks. She says she's extremely happy that their plan succeeded. But now it's time for her to claim her reward, as they previously agreed. What she wants is to become a goddess. However, Goku responds mockingly, saying, "Become a god? Do you really think you can become a god just because we had some agreement? Don't make me laugh." The old woman insists, reminding him, "But this is what we agreed on. This is what you promised me." Goku sharply cuts her off and says, "Enough. A mere mortal like you should already be grateful that a god even allowed you to take part in this plan. Know your place." Still defiant, the old woman warns him, "Everyone who breaks their promise with me suffers the consequences." After saying this, she leaves. Then, Nua speaks and asks, "Aren't we going to go after her?" Goku replies, "No, let her go. Mortals like her are powerless against a god of destruction. She poses no threat." Goku continues, saying that Universe 7 is now facing true chaos, and everything Terran worked so hard to protect is now about to disappear for good. On the other hand, the scene shifts to planet Terran. The narrator explains that several days have passed since the disappearance of Terran and Gaza. Meanwhile, the planet Nikose has already been completely conquered by Beerus. Champa, Beerus, and Ro are all still deeply affected by depression and despair over the recent events. They are feeling the weight of failure and loss. At this moment, Whis speaks. He says he just returned from a meeting with the Grand Priest and Great Zeno. According to Whis, on the day Terran and Gaza disappeared, Beerus began his takeover of Universe 7, creating an unsustainable situation for everyone. The Grand Priest gave them 1 month to resolve the chaos in Universe 7. If they fail to restore order within that time, Lord Zeno will personally erase the entire universe. Then Beerus speaks, sounding defeated. He says he doesn't think he can fix this anymore. He admits that the god of destruction from Universe 6 was right all along. He's weak, and there's no way he can defeat someone like Beerus. Beerus continues speaking and admits, "Besides all that, I really am the one responsible for everything that's happened." Ro also speaks up, saying, "Me too. I wasn't ready to become a Supreme Kai. I had no experience and I was weak. Because of my weakness, Master Gaza was lost. And now, I don't even know what to do anymore. I don't know how to truly become a god. I could never be as great as Master Gaza." Then Champa jumps in and interrupts them, saying, "What are you two even talking about? Are you just pretending to be gods? And you, Ro, weren't you trained by the god of creation himself? So why does it seem like you didn't learn anything? Who said you have to be smarter or better than anyone else? You don't need to be the best. It's okay to just be average. Ro responds, saying, I'll try. Champa turns to Beerus and says, And what about you, Beerus? You always act so superior, but now you're just gonna sit back and let that monster destroy our universe? You were so arrogant before just because you were chosen as an apprentice god of destruction in this universe. But now that trouble is here, you're ready to run away with your tail between your legs? Aren't you ashamed? Be a man and clean up the mess you made. This seems to snap Beerus out of his despair. He says, Who do you think you are talking to me like that? I won't take insults from a fool like you. Whis, let's start the training. Now. Whis smiles and says, Oh, looks like I won't need to find another way to wake you up after all. All right then, Beerus, let's begin your training. But before we do, I have to say, your current strength isn't enough. Beerus asks, What do you mean? Whis explains, Remember, we only have 1 month before Lord Zeno steps into Erase Universe 7 if we don't resolve this. And while my training methods are reliable, I can't guarantee you'll become stronger than Demiugris in that short time. Beerus, clearly concerned, asks, So what do we do now? Whis turns to Champa and asks, Champa, would you accept the position of God of Destruction for Universe 6, if given the chance? Champa answers, I don't really want it, but if it's the only way and I don't have a choice, then I'll accept it. Whis is pleased with the answer and says, Good, then start your training immediately. I'll take you both to a special dimension where time flows differently, so you'll have plenty of time to train effectively. Then Ro asks, Wait, what about me? What am I supposed to do? In response, Whis summons the Z sword and hands it to Ro. He says, Champa, Beerus, and Ro, you all need to study and improve your abilities. We then see Ro beginning his training with the Z sword, while Whis transports Beerus and Champa to the special dimension to begin their intense training. This marks the first official training session of Beerus and Champa on their path to becoming the new gods of destruction. But their biggest enemy right now is time. They must grow stronger as fast as possible if they are to stand any chance of defeating Demiugris. A few weeks have passed, and Beerus and Champa are still deep in their training, pushing themselves to their limits. Meanwhile, Demiugris continues his conquest. He has now completely taken over planet Nicosi, and the rest of Universe 7 is also slowly falling apart under the assault of his demon army. In one scene, we see Demiugris sitting calmly, watching the chaos unfold. He says, This is exactly what I wanted, to see how these mortals struggle against my overwhelming power. It feels so good to bathe in their blood. But then he senses something and remarks, it seems I'm about to have some visitors. The scene shifts back to Ro, Beerus, and Champa, who have now arrived on planet Nicosi. As soon as they land, they're immediately met by an overwhelming number of demons surrounding them. Ro steps forward and says to Beerus and Champa, Leave this to me. You two go on ahead and find that Makayoshin, Demiugris. With that, Beerus and Champa take off, flying straight toward Demiugris' castle. Meanwhile, outside the planet's atmosphere, Whis is watching everything unfold. He calmly observes, Now we'll see whether these two are truly fit to become gods of destruction. Back in the castle, Beerus and Champa have successfully infiltrated Demiugris' domain. Demiugris greets them mockingly, saying, Welcome. Champa angrily replies, You fool, who do you think you are to destroy and torment the people of this universe? Demiugris arrogantly answers, I am now the god of this universe. That means I own everything in it. Beerus steps up and declares, Don't get too comfortable. I'm going to become the new god of destruction of this universe. At that moment, Beerus begins preparing for an attack, but Demiugris quickly evades using a barrier technique, dashing away to avoid getting hit. However, Champa is quick to react and chases after him. He lands a powerful punch straight into Demiugris' barrier, and shockingly, it breaks through. Demiugris is visibly surprised. He broke my barrier? He mutters in disbelief. Taking advantage of this, Beerus unleashes a powerful energy attack that hits Demiugris directly. And while Demiugris is momentarily off guard, Champa follows up with a powerful kick that lands cleanly. The force of the attack causes Demiugris to stagger backward, clearly feeling the damage. Champa prepares to follow up with another strike, but before he can land it, Demiugris teleports instantly, appearing behind Champa with his spear ready to strike. The spear is about to hit Champa's back, But Beerus reacts just in time, intercepting the attack. Beerus says, "That kind of trick won't work on us anymore. Whis trained us, and his magic tricks are way more advanced than yours, so no matter what you try, we can see right through it." Champa adds, "And besides, we're stronger now. You're not going to beat us this time." Then, both Beerus and Champa prepare to fight together, side by side, fully ready to take down Demiurgus. Demiurgus speaks up, noting with surprise that Beerus and Champa aren't joking around anymore. He admits that both of them have clearly matured as warriors. He even acknowledges that his tricks no longer work on them. They've prepared for everything he can throw at them. He begins to sense that his power may no longer be enough to defeat the two gods in training. Beerus steps forward and calmly asks, "Can I ask you something? Don't you realize that this universe can't continue to exist if you keep destroying it? If you keep doing what you're doing, you won't last long. Lord Zeno himself will erase the entire universe just to stop you." But Demiurgus responds coldly, "That's not my concern. All I want is to spread my evil. That's the very reason I exist. If I die while doing this, then so be it." Beerus, puzzled, asks, "So you're saying you'll keep doing all these terrible things even if it costs you your life?" Demiurgus affirms with a smirk, "Of course. For me, the suffering of mortals is their weakness, and that's what I thrive on. I won't stop until I've either wiped them all out or ruled over everything." At this point, Beerus simply smiles, almost peacefully. Demiurgus, confused, demands, "Why are you smiling?" Beerus replies, "Because now, I finally understand what Lord Terran meant in the lessons he tried to teach me. You did your job well. You acted exactly as a demon god should. You followed your nature. You moved according to your own will." Demiurgus scoffs. "What? What nonsense are you talking about now?" Beerus continues, "Thanks to you, I finally understand what it means to be a true god, what the true essence of a god is." Then Beerus turns to Champa and says, "Champa, leave this place." Sensing what Beerus is about to do, Champa flies off, giving his brother space. Beerus begins charging a massive hakai energy attack, a technique of complete erasure. Demiurgus, visibly shaken, taunts, "Don't tell me you're actually planning to use that on me, you fool. Haven't you learned anything?" In just a few seconds, Beerus releases the powerful hakai, sending it flying straight toward Demiurgus. Demiurgus, confident, prepares to absorb the attack like he did before, thinking, "Once I absorb this, I'll become even more powerful enough to finally defeat the both of them." He begins the absorption, but something feels off. "What? Why can't I absorb it?" he gasps in shock. Beerus explains, "Before, my hakai was filled with negative emotions, guilt, confusion, self-doubt. I didn't understand the true meaning of destruction. I was using my power based on how I felt, not on what it was truly meant for." He pauses, then continues, "But starting now, I won't destroy anything just because I'm angry or upset. I'll do it because it's my duty. Love, hatred, empathy. These are not emotions a god should act upon. A god must have the wisdom to rise above personal feelings. That's what I finally understand." Demiurgus, now genuinely shaken, responds, "You're insane. Are you saying you don't even hate me anymore? After everything I've done, I killed Terran. I destroyed everything you knew." But Beerus, calm and unwavering, says, "Terran's death, the destruction of this place, it was destined. It was meant to happen. You were just the one chosen to carry it out. And now, I'm the one chosen to destroy you." After hearing everything Beerus had said, Demiurgus became furious. He shouted at Beerus, "Who do you think you are to say these things to me? Do you really think you're above me?" Beerus calmly answered, "I am Beerus, the Destroyer." Right after declaring that, Beerus unleashed his full power and completely obliterated Demiurgus along with the entire planet he was on. The explosion was immense, a true display of destructive power. Once the explosion had died down, Champa asked Beerus, "Why did you destroy the whole planet? That was one of ours." Beerus simply replied, "The mortals of that planet, they were already gone. There was nothing left." Still confused, Champa questioned, "What do you mean the Nekosagens are gone? Aren't we Nekosagens too?" But Beerus corrected him, "No, we're not Nekosagens anymore. We are Beerus and Champa, gods of destruction." After hearing this, Whis spoke up, clearly impressed. It seems you finally understand the true meaning of divinity. Lord Terran made the right choice in choosing you as his disciple after all. You truly are worthy of becoming a god of destruction. Then Ro added, after that massive explosion, the number of demons has gone down significantly. Whis responded, that's because with the death of the demon king, Demiurgus, all the demons he created or commanded have returned to the Makai world. If any demons remain in Universe 7, it's now up to us to deal with them. Beerus, reflecting on everything, said, it looks like we've won this battle. After resolving the major crisis in Universe 7, the Grand Priest called for another meeting, summoning all the gods of destruction and angels from all 18 universes. At the meeting, the Grand Priest explained what had happened. Gaza and Lord Terran were killed during Demiurgus's attack. However, the brothers Beerus and Champa took action and resolved the issue on their own. Thanks to them, there was no need for Lord Zeno to intervene. But one god, Goroga, was visibly upset and skeptical. He questioned, how could those two possibly defeat Demiurgus? Goroga looked at the Grand Priest and pointed out, you said Beerus would be the next god of destruction for Universe 7. Then what is that other one doing here at our meeting? He was referring to Champa, clearly doubting his role or place among the gods. The Grand Priest responded, explaining that the meeting had two main purposes. First, to officially announce that Beerus and Ro would take over the positions left vacant by Gaza and Lord Terran. Second, to remove one of the current gods of destruction from Universe 6, so that Champa could take their place. These revelations shocked Goroga, especially when the Grand Priest revealed a hidden truth. He had discovered that Goroga and another god named Nua were secretly involved in the attack on Universe 7, and they had solid evidence to prove it. At that moment, an old man suddenly appeared. He was the one who told the Grand Priest everything about Goroga and Nua's plan to destroy Universe 7. The old man spoke, didn't I warn you about breaking our agreement? Everyone who breaks a deal with me always pays the price. Because of this testimony, Lord Zeno immediately erased both Nua and Goroga from existence. With their removal, Beerus and Champa were now officially declared as the new gods of destruction for Universe 7 and Universe 6, respectively. As for the old man, Lord Zeno spared his life as a reward for the crucial help he gave in exposing the traitors. However, the old man had a hidden ambition. He wanted to become a god himself. In an attempt to do so, he stole one of Ro's Patara earrings, which allows fusion when worn with another. But his plan went terribly wrong. He accidentally fused with Ro, creating a fused being that looked like an older, uglier version of Ro, and who also had a split personality. When Beerus found out about this, he was extremely annoyed. He blamed the old man for almost ruining his reputation. Although he wanted to destroy the old man, it was forbidden, so instead, he sealed him inside the Z-Sword. From there, Beerus became the strongest being in his universe. But over time, he grew bored, as no one could challenge him anymore. So he decided to go into a long, deep sleep, hoping that when he awoke, he might find someone stronger. While Beerus slept, his universe was unknowingly caught in multiple dangerous events. But thanks to the good-hearted mortals of Earth, the universe was able to survive, and that's how this special chapter ends. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button so you'll always be updated with more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.